Hi, Andy Joels here from VideoCreditScore.com. Today we're going to take a look at the Standard & Poor's study on credit card debt that they just came out with in October and ask the question, is the mortgage credit crunch making this worse? And let's go through some of the major stats that came out of this. Now, first stat is they said 20% of the population has either sometimes or always has trouble paying off their balances each month. So pretty big number. It was split between 14% who said sometimes and 6% who said always, that they always had trouble paying off their balances. Let's compare this to the stats around minimum payment users. You got 8% who say they just pay the minimum payment and another 8% that they actually pay less than the minimum payment. So it's looking like, less than 10% or really in that trouble zone around minimum payments and not being able to attack the balances. You got 40,000. You got 3% of folks who actually have $40,000 in debt or more. That's a pretty big number in terms of the amount of debt. Again, it's this less than 10% of the folks are sort of in a trouble zone. You've got 22% have debt in the $5,000 to $20,000 range. 25% are saying that they've maxed out on their primary card. Another 20% are saying that they've maxed out on their secondary card. And 10% more people are saying that they're taking out cash advances than they ever have before. So this appears to look like that the credit crisis is actually having an impact on people's credit card behavior. But is the survey valid? Now, you can actually see the details below on the survey technique that Standard & Poor's uses, and it's a perfectly great research technique. There's one question I have with it, and that is that when you ask people questions about money, I found in my research experience that they're not always honest. So while the research is set up to be as accurate as possible, sometimes people are just either ashamed or they're fearful of giving sort of the really accurate answer. Sometimes they're just in denial about what their real debt situation looks like. And we've seen situations in the past, and I've seen situations in the past where people have said, $30,000 worth of debt and it's really 50. They just don't really have their hands around the numbers. So what this means in the way of a conclusion is this survey looks like things are getting worse, and I would actually suspect that they're even a little bit worse than what the survey says. And so what this means is really never a better time to get educated around credit scoring, understanding credit cards, going through the lessons, figuring out the tips and tricks that you can apply to make sure that you have a discipline around attacking credit card debt and getting the best credit score and getting the best rates that you can. So you know where to come for this, VideoCreditScore.com. You can check out all the lessons and episodes there. You can also friend me up on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. See you soon. Remember, everyone's situation is different. Be sure to contact a financial advisor or a credit counseling professional before making important financial decisions. This video broadcast is for educational purposes and not a substitute for receiving personalized professional advice.